Morning, guys. It's Jeff here. Just wanted to welcome you to another one of my autism videos. Today, I'll be talking to you guys about travel and particularly air travel. Now, air travel or any kind of travel for that matter can be very stressful for people on the autism spectrum. As a veteran flyer, as a veteran traveler, I should say, I used to be one of those people. I used to be afraid of traveling, but now, as I've gotten older over the years, I've come to become very passionate about air travel. However, in the case of some people on the autism spectrum, traveling can be extremely stressful. I know for a fact that I have, even though that I am a frequent traveler, I still get stressed out occasionally when it comes to, going through security and all that. I think the best way for people on the autism spectrum to prepare themselves for travel is to do prepare them for what's to come. Prepare for what to do when you get to the airport, when you check your bag. But I think the big thing is going through airport security, for, especially people with autism can get very stressed out when they're going through security, particularly these days, especially in the nearly 20 years after 9/11, if you can believe that. One thing that I do to cope with my anxieties is I signed up about 3 years ago. I signed up for TSA PreCheck, and TSA PreCheck has been extremely helpful to me. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take your jackets off. You don't have to take anything out of your carry-on bags. Uh, it's $85, but in the end, it's worth it. When you sign up for TSA PreCheck, you won't be sorry because you'll save time, you'll save stress, and for people on the autism spectrum, you won't regret it. TSA's they're a lot more friendlier to you than people who have to go through the traditional security lines, and that's pretty much the I mean, trust me, if you use TSA PreCheck, and of course you have to pay $85 for it, you will not be sorry. You'll be saving a lot of stress and a lot of time, and especially for people on the autism spectrum, you, it's it's a lifesaver. As someone with anxiety like myself, I find it very, very beneficial. And then there's the matter of being on the planes themselves. I mean, when I'm on the plane, I usually get stressed if my flight's getting delayed. I don't do a lot of non-stops. I do a lot of connections. So one thing that I've done in recent years is I've always scheduled myself uh, up to 3 hours connecting time, or even 4 hours when I travel. The big thing for me personally is to avoid tight connections. Tight connections are extremely stressful, and they are they're something that you do not want to have. I've had a couple of instances where I've had tight connections and I've wound up missing. I've ended up making my flights, but my bags sometimes do not make it onto my connecting flight. I remember about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, I went down to visit my sister and brother-in-law in Virginia for the first time, and we ended up our first flight coming home was delayed, and we only had like 20 minutes to make our connecting flight. Uh, and My dad and I were traveling. We made it onto our connecting flight, but we ended up actually my bag ended up it took about 9 extra hours for my bag to come back to me, and it was a mess. And so that's my advice. Not just for people on the autism spectrum, but for anyone. Always schedule ample amount of connecting time, whether you go through like a major airline hub, like say Dallas Fort Worth for American Airlines, or Chicago O'Hare for United. It's those. If I mean, yes, I know that long connections are tough for anyone, but they'll help you out in the end. That's all I can really say. So that's going to do it for this video. Next week I will be going back to the public school sector. I'll be talking in my next episode about school assemblies, and if you ever have a chance, be sure to check out uh, Bridge the Gap on YouTube. I was interviewed for it 2 weeks ago, and it was published not just on YouTube on Sunday, but it also aired on public television in New Jersey. And if you go onto my profile on Facebook, you go on my self-advocate page on Facebook, you will see that I posted the link to my interview. So be sure to check it out. Take care, guys, and I will see you next week.